Peace, fam. And one, Raw Soul Nation. The universe is revolutionary. How y'all feeling out there today? How y'all families doing, man? Y'all doing good for real, for real. Um, Check it out. I watched the first episode of The Last of Us. And I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. For y'all that don't know, The Last of Us is a video game that came out in 2013 uh, on PS on PS3, right? Yeah, and yo, I bought that game as soon as it came out. I was ready for it. I already knew, you know, what it was about, and uh, the people that made that game is called Naughty Dog. They had already made one of my most favorites games called Uncharted. So I had already, beat a lot of those games in that series, and so I was waiting for this to come, and that game was awesome. I beat that game like 4 times, back to back. So HBO has, The Last of Us series out, and it's pretty dope. At least the first episode was dope. It was just like the game. It played just like the game, with the exceptions of a few parts that they added on. But those add-ons were cool. It didn't take away from it from the show. It actually, made it a little more interesting. So yeah, that game is. I mean, that show's pretty dope, yo, for real. Let's see, Naughty Dog, the people that make it, right? Like I said, they made another game before that called Uncharted, and they had as to date, they have Uncharted, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4, and the Lost Legacy. So I played all of those, and I have all of them except the Lost Legacy. I had it, but I think I had sold it. I'm gonna get it back, but yeah. But I beat all those, and all of them are dope. I love all of them. But let's see. So you have The Last of Us is out. That game was dope. That's one of my favorite games. The Last of Us game by Naughty Dog is crazy dope, and it's a survival horror. For folks that don't know, for cats that don't know, it's a survival horror game. It's like post-apocalyptic situation where um, there's a fungus that's out and is taking over. It's attaching itself to people, and there's people being killed and turned into like zombie type monsters and stuff like that. Um, And in the story, there's a man named Joel, and he has a daughter. And in the game and the show, the daughter gets took out early in the show and the game. So but they switch it up a little bit in the show, and it's dope how they do it. You know what I'm saying? It's actually kind of dope, but uh, yeah, the show plays just like the game pretty much. Like the way the camera angles are and the way it moves in certain scenes, and you know, a lot of the things that they say and do and how they move within the show is just like the game. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Um, I was very entertained with it. Now, I haven't played part 2 of the game because there's a lot of fruitcakeism in it. The The first game didn't have any fruitcakeism in it until it got to the DLC part, Left Behind, and they got in there with the girls, with the girl Ellie in the show, and another character um, that's in the game, and they're gonna show it in the show. That part is gonna come as a part when they showed them as like a back part of the story where they show them go into like an abandoned mall, and they go in there and play the games and take pictures and stuff, and there's some fruitcakeism involved there. That was in the DLC of the game. I noticed that when I played it. Anyway, so now this is where it's gonna get interesting because you get all of that in there. And when I had played that game, I didn't know there was gonna be fruitcakeism in there. Just understand that, like I'm playing, it's the DLC. You know, they let us download it for free if you had bought the game, early. So when that time it came, I downloaded it and I'm playing, and I'm like, things are starting to feel a little weird, while I'm playing certain things that they're doing, the two girls, running around and trying to escape from the zombies and some of the security or whatever. But it's and there's a part when I think they kiss or something, but I was like, oh man, you know. So when part two came out, there was a lot of controversy because they had Ellie grown up a little bit and she had a girlfriend. Now she got a girlfriend. It's not that other character that was in the Left Behind DLC. It's a new character. So then, and there's some other stuff going on with another character in the game where there's a girl, but she kind of looks like she's, you know, on the transitional phase or whatnot. So, I was like, man, I don't want to play this crap. It's being that the first one was so dope and the storyline was so dope with it. It wasn't just the play game itself, the gameplay itself. It was the gameplay and the storyline that was dope. And the graphics was off the chain. Now, so in the show, when it gets to those parts with the fruitcakeism and everything, I ain't down there. And then part two, the thing about the game in part two, I wonder if they're gonna put that the same way in the show if it comes to that. If they use the part two of the game to put in uh, either this in this season or another season, I don't know. But I think it's dope. I think they've done a great job. I think they're dope, but there's gonna be some other things going on. I guess it starts off so dope because for people who played the game knows what's gonna happen later. So when it comes to the story and all that, so I don't know. We'll see. But I think it's dope. I think they did a dope job in the first episode. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check. They said they got 9 episodes for the first series of it, first season. So it should be good because the first game is dope. Okay, so we'll see. See what happens until get to the other parts. But this is at one. Rosso Nation, the universe is revolution.